History was made this past weekend as the EJ Lajeunesse Girls Basketball team took home the school's first ever gold medal at the OFSAA Championships in Welland this past weekend. The number 2 seeded Royals, who took the silver medal at last year's event, claimed the gold medal with a 40-26 win over number 4 Breslow Woodland Christian, which had an upset number 1 seed and 2-time defending champions Timmins O'Gorman in the semifinals. Lajeunesse held Woodland to 11 points in the first half and opened a 13-point lead at the break. Ashanti Christian led the offense with 20 points, and Jamila Christian finished with 13 points. This is the 9th consecutive year that the Royals have made it to the OFSAA Single A Championships and the first ever gold medal in school history. Congratulations, Coach Linda and the EJ Lajeunesse Royals.
And there we have it, Lajeunesse, the OFSAA Girls Single A Basketball Champions.
Former Windsor Lancer and Essex Ravens product Drew DeJarlis went from being on a 1-win team with the Windsor Lancers last year, and now he is a starting guard on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the 107th Grey Cup champions. Drew was taken with the 4th overall selection in the first round of the CFL draft earlier this year and quickly became a starter on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offensive line, blocking up front for all-Canadian running back Andrew Harris. The Blue Bombers built a 2-score lead at halftime over the Hamilton Ticats and never looked back in a 33-12 romp to win Winnipeg's first Grey Cup since 1990. Congratulations, Drew, on your Grey Cup championship with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The EJ Lajeunesse Royals made history for the school by winning their first ever OFSAA gold medal at the A Championships in Welland this past weekend. Here to talk about the journey that it took to get there is head coach Linda Carriere and team captain Olivia Scott. Thank you very much for joining the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What did it feel like once the clock hit triple zeros and you guys knew that you were OFSAA champions?
Oh, it was absolutely surreal. I think that we've been working towards this for so long that it was just kind of almost a feeling of relief, like we had finally made it, and it was the greatest feeling of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Coach, what about you? Now, it's single A school Lajeunesse as the top basketball school in Windsor. That's got to be really satisfying.
It was, because last year we were undefeated through the season, but there's no trophy, there's no playoffs, so it was just we declared ourselves champions, but really we weren't. But this year we were ready for it. So for 1 year we've been talking about that tournament, and it finally happened.
Joining me on the show is Coach Glen Mills. Glenn, thanks a lot.
Great to be here.
Absolutely. Now, of course, as soon as WECSSAA football season turns the tide, now it's officially Essex Ravens season. Now, you guys must be really excited to get chomping at the bit, but we had some really competitive WECSSAA championships this past week, and a lot of really good Essex Ravens players were in those games. How did you like how your players did in those respective championship games?
It's great to go watch. I mean, the juniors this year was absolutely outstanding. The AA and AAA, both games were very, very, like, just the competition level was outstanding. And I thought, it's great to see the Ravens kids that come through, because a lot of times, they're top-end athletes, right?
Yeah.
They're the guys that have had battle-tested and play really, really well. And it was great to see Bell River. Bell River played lights out, and beat Brennan, who was a pretty good football team as well. And, the Herman-Lasaur game was absolutely outstanding. Lasaur led most of the way, and then Herman, Herman, they find a way to win it. And, those kids, they just fight, and they pulled it out at the end. And again, just a really, really great football game to watch. And at senior, everybody knew Herman was pretty talented. I mean, it's been a couple of years. They've been, kind of not at that level. And this year, they really put it together and played a fantastic, regular season. And then playoffs just continue. It'd be great to see them play. They're going to play St. Thomas More, the ranked number one team in Canada, on Wednesday. That's going to be a battle. I mean, they'll definitely be tested to see, exactly where they stand amongst the elite teams in Ontario.
Another Ravens player who's getting to don some hardware now is Drew DeJarlis. He was a first-round draft pick by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers this year, earns a starting spot on the offensive line real quick, and now he's a Grey Cup champion after the Blue Bombers just dominated Hamilton during that game. You must be really proud, Coach.
You know what? It's great for Drew. I mean, 4 years ago, 2015, he was a captain of our OVFL championship team, and again, dominated then. I mean, watch him play, like, he's nasty. Like, he's just a big, physical, nasty guy that
he doesn't look out of place at all.
No, that just beat people up. And you're talking about a young man that's, he's 23 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a long career playing the way he's playing, and hats off to him. I mean, he's just a class act all the way around, and it's, good for Drew.